today my story is called More Parts by Ted Arnold. Things are bad and getting worse. Each day it's something new. With all the stuff I hear about, I don't know what to do. One day I tripped on my red truck and it just fell apart. But when I told my mom, she said, "I'll bet that broke your heart." I guess that's possible. Who knows? I don't think Mom would lie. I'd better play more carefully. This pillow's worth a try. People say all kinds of things that I don't understand, like when my dad asked me if I would please give him a hand. I didn't know my hands come off and I don't want them to, so I'll make sure that they stay on with gloves and lots of glue. Our next door neighbor had a joke he wanted us to hear. He said, "It's sure to crack you up." I ran away in fear. I'm sure who wants to hear a joke like that? Not my idea of fun. I gotta keep my head together. It's my only one. My teacher has me worried too. This happened yesterday. She said to stretch our arms and legs before we go and play. I'm sure she thinks it's good for us, but that's just too bizarre. My arms and legs are long enough. I like the way they are. I know I've got a lot to learn. I'm little and I'm young. But what did Grandma really mean when she said, "Hold your tongue"? My tongue's a slimy, jiggly, squishy, slippery little squirt. I'd be my luck to squeeze too hard and lose it in the dirt. So I decided that it's best to stay here in my room, 'cause who knows when some little thing just might lead to my doom. Then Mom and Dad came in and asked me, "Why are you upset?" I told them all the things I've heard that get me in a sweat. Like Coach who says before each game it's ready to begin, he gets so nervous that he nearly jumps out of his skin. Or what a friend said recently, it gave me such a fright. He claims his baby sister screams her lungs out every night. My skin could slip, my head may crack, and I might break my heart. I could lose my lungs, my hands, who knows when it might start. What if, quite by accident, my body flies apart? Mom and Dad just smiled and looked relieved that I'm okay. And Mom explained to me about the things that people say. And though Dad laughed, I know he didn't mean to be unkind when he said, "For a minute, son, we thought you lost your mind." Hi, friends. Look, I have a new story, Swimming Lessons by Betsy J. One night at supper, Mama said to Daddy, "Jane is going to learn to swim this summer." I told Mama I wasn't going to get into any pool. I told her when she took me to the pool to sign up and made me tell the nice lady my name and how old I was. I told her again when we saw a woman from church at the grocery store and found out that her mean little boy Jimmy would be taking swimming lessons too. I told her and told her, but she just talked about how I wouldn't be scared of the water if I knew how to swim. She said it's very important that I know how to swim because everyone else she knows who is my age or who has ever been my age can swim. I don't want to know how to swim. Maybe if I decided to become a sailor or a fisherman, I would need to know how to swim. But I would rather be an elephant rider in the circus, and I don't think they need to know much about swimming. I told Mama that. She said that everyone needs to know how to swim, including elephant riders and farmers and TV repairmen and even the person who paints the yellow lines on the road. I don't believe her. Mama said, "What if you're in a boat and it tips over?" I said, "I will never ride in a boat." She said, "Well, what if Uncle Frank decides to throw you in the pond on the 4th of July picnic?" I didn't say anything because there's a very good chance of that happening, and there really isn't any way out once Uncle Frank gets you except holding your breath for a really, really, really long time, which might spoil the day for everyone else, even though the ambulance would come and I would get to ride inside it while they saved my life. Yesterday afternoon, Daddy came home from work early and took me to the park. The swimming pool is at the park. We walked by it on the way to the playground. There's a tall fence all the way around it and only one way in and out. If there was a tidal wave or a fire, I'm sure somebody would get hurt trying to get out, and it would probably be me. Daddy said there was a lifeguard to make sure everyone was safe and that those things wouldn't happen anyway. I said that you can never be too sure about fires or tidal waves. He said he had never heard of a tidal wave around here, and if there was a fire, I could just jump in the pool. I told him it was probably safer to be in a fire than to get in the water. Mama bought a new bathing suit for me to wear at the swimming lessons. It's pink with a yellow dinosaur on the front that turns purple when you get it wet. I didn't believe her when she told me. I thought she was trying to trick me because she said I could only get it wet in the swimming pool, not in the bathtub. I made it wet in the dog's bowl, but only the dinosaur part and only the dinosaur's tail. I had to work fast while she was talking to Mrs. Henley in the driveway. Mama wasn't lying. It did turn purple. I sure would like to see the whole dinosaur turn purple, but I'm not about to risk my life for it. I told Mama, dinosaur bathing suit or not, I am never going to get in that swimming pool. She doesn't say anything anymore when I tell her that. I think I'm wearing her down. I heard Mrs. Henley say in the driveway that her sister never learned how to swim. Her sister always wears a muumuu and has a short husband with tall socks. Cats never swim at all. They don't like water. I learned this watching television. Cats don't even take baths. They just lick themselves all over. I told this to Mama. She said, we are not cats. We are people. I said, I'm not. I'm a cross between a person and a cat. I look like a person on the outside, but I'm a cat on the inside. If you make me get in the water, bad things will happen. I went outside to find Mrs. Henley's cat to see if it would sit in the bird bath, just to make sure the TV wasn't lying. It wasn't. On the first day of swimming lessons, Mama put sunscreen all over me. She was worried that if it would wash off in the water. She didn't have to worry, I told her, because I am not getting in that swimming pool. I am not going to learn how to swim if it's the last thing I do. I don't care who can swim and who can't. I don't care if I can't become an elephant rider. I don't care if I never see the dinosaur turn purple. I don't care about anything ever again for the rest of my life. I don't care. I'm never going to get into the swimming pool. Mama said, oh, yes, you are. You can't make me, I said. You're not the boss. But I should have left that part out. She pointed her finger at me and told me to go sit on the bleachers until my teacher came, and she didn't want to hear another word. So I went to the bleachers. I was so mad. I threw my nose pinchers. I almost threw them all the way into the water. Jimmy came over. I love to swim, he said. I don't, I told him. Then he told me I was scared because girls can't swim. I told him girls can swim just as good as anybody, probably better than him. You're a chicken, he said. And I said, no, I'm not. Then he said, chickens and girls can't swim. That's when the teacher made us all line up at the side of the pool. She was standing in the water and wanted us to jump in one by one. Jimmy was first. On the count of 3, she said, but Jimmy jumped in before she got to 3, and then it was my turn. The teacher was counting and time was running out and everyone was looking at me. There was no place to hide. Jimmy was floating in the water, making noises like a sick chicken. I got madder and madder, and the teacher said 3. And I decided the only way to make everyone stop acting crazy was to jump in, so I did. Jimmy doesn't know anything about girls. I wasn't scared, but everyone else was. It took a long time to get everyone in the water. One little girl, a little girl with a bathing suit just like mine, started crying. I showed her my purple dinosaur and she got in. That day I learned how to blow bubbles and kick and float. The teacher said I was going to be a good swimmer. Everyone was very proud of me. I don't know why they made such a big deal out of it. Everybody should learn how to swim. And Jimmy learned some things that day too. Like anybody can learn to swim if they want to, including girls and maybe even chickens for all he knows. Even his swimming trunks can swim all by themselves. But I wouldn't know anything about that. The end. Gone swimming.